Hey everyone, Kaylee here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to DIY some cute new workout shirts from old t-shirts that you might have. I have a giant pile of old t-shirts that I don't want anymore, and I was ready to give them some new life, and I thought I would give you guys a tutorial in case you wanted to do something similar. So let's go ahead and start off by talking about things that you'll need. First of all, you'll need a t-shirt, or possibly two, and then some fabric glue. I've got this at Walmart in a pack of 3 for $3, and then some scissors. We're going to start off by cutting the shirt into a racer back, and this is going to be the base for all 3 different shirts. Start with your shirt laid out flat, and then if you need some kind of guideline, take a racer back that already fits you pretty well and lay it on top, and then that way you can see the line that you need to cut off the sleeve. Then go ahead and fold the shirt over in half to make it a little bit faster and make sure that it's lined up perfectly. Once you have it lined up, you can either put your racer back on and trace the outline of the racer back, or you can do what I do and just kind of eyeballed it based on what I saw when I held the racer back up to my t-shirt. Then go ahead and cut according to that line. If you're using a pin or something permanent, make sure that you line inside of where you're going to cut so you don't end up with any lines on your shirt. Then flip the shirt over backwards, and now we're going to cut out a little bit more of the back. Now this is the part where my whole racer back thing falls apart because this racer back has a bow, but if you have a normal one it will actually help, and you can kind of see the line that would make, and then you just follow that same line using either chalk or a pin or something like that to mark your outline. Once you have that marked, go ahead and cut that out. And then at the top you want to make sure that you connect the 2 lines together here so that you don't end up with any weird little corners sticking out. Then take the fabric that you cut off of that sleeve, flip it over, and use that as your outline for the second sleeve. Now the easiest way to do this would be to go ahead and outline with a pin, but I bobby pinned it in place and cut around the outside. I don't know why, but it made sense in my head at the time. And again, make sure you match up the 2 ends on top, and you have your racer back. And then if you're going to do more than one shirt, what you can do is use the stuff that you cut off from your previous shirts to create the outline so they become kind of a pattern for your next shirts that you cut up. And you can do that with the back as well. And now for the simple racer back. This one is really easy. What you're going to do is take the sleeve from the shirt that you cut up, or you could take one from another shirt that's in another color, and cut enough to go ahead and wrap around the back of the shirt and clip that off. Then gather the back of the shirt together and wrap the little strip of fabric around it. And then before you place the second side on top, put a little dot of glue down and secure that second side on top of the first side. And then you're going to want to pin that in place to dry. And of course I used a bobby pin because I bobby pin everything. After waiting about 2 hours, the glue will harden and you can see that it holds really well. And then you're going to wash and take care of the shirt according to the directions on your fabric glue. And that is it for your little simple racer back. And now for the bow, which is my personal favorite. You're going to go ahead and cut the hem off of the sleeve, and then lay the sleeve out and create the biggest rectangle that you can from that sleeve. Basically, you just want to use as much fabric as you can. If you want a smaller bow, you can always make the rectangle a little bit smaller. Then fold your edges in, and then you're going to fold each side into the center. And then you're going to place a line of glue where those 2 sides intersect. Make sure to squeeze them together really well, and then go ahead and bunch together the middle of our little rectangle and you have a bow. Then measure the hem around the bow to create a little strap to hold it together, and then you want one more piece of fabric that's going to be about 4 inches long. Place that against the back of the bow, and then wrap your center fabric around that, again placing a little dot of glue to hold that in place. And also pin it so that it will dry holding together in place. Then bunch together the back of the shirt and use that extra piece of fabric to wrap around the back of the shirt. Again, putting that little dot of glue down first and then putting the second side on. Pin that in place and let it harden for about 2 or 3 hours, and then once that's done you can go ahead and take off your bobby pins, and if you have any extra fabric you can go ahead and trim that off. And that is it for this style of shirt. And finally we're going to finish off with this cutout workout shirt. This one's pretty easy. You're going to start with your shirt inside out with the back facing up, and then you're going to create a triangle. Now what I did to get my triangle was to first fold this paper in half and use that crease line to go as my guide for a line to cut the paper in half. Then I took the top left corner and attached it to the bottom side, and folded that, and then did the same thing with the top right corner. Then that created a little triangle with the creases, and I cut that out. So that's basically how I made my triangle. You guys can do whatever you want or whatever works for you. You can even eyeball it if you want. Then place that down in the center, kind of in the back of your shirt where you want that cutout to be, and trace that right there. You want to make sure that the bottom of the triangle, the bottom corners, are below where the armholes are, or else you end up with a really weird, awkward mess and a way too big cutout. And then once you have those lines in place, you're going to go ahead and use them as your guide and cut out the little triangle in the back of the shirt. Once you have that done, you're going to go ahead and bunch up the top corners. And basically you're going to take the hem from the sleeve or even the bottom of the shirt if you want, and wrap it around and measure that, and then measure another piece that's the exact same size. Then you're going to start up at one of the sleeves and bunch it up, and then go ahead and put one side over, put the dot of glue down, and then the second side, and then bobby pin. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Once the fabric glue has dried, you are done and you have your new cutout t-shirt. So that's it guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check out my previous video, which was a makeup tutorial, and be sure to come back later on in the week when I will have a workout hair tutorial. I love you guys very much, and I'll see you then. Bye!